Under the new rules and regulations aboard the River Thames, we now have to inform you by law that we have full life-saving equipment aboard this vessel. Now, on the roof of the boats we have life rafts, which in the unlikely event of them being needed, they can be launched in a matter of moments. There's also life rings situated in areas around the vessel. Now, if anybody goes downstairs in the lower saloon or the emergency escape, £250 million. The building was bought by a large Japanese consortium. They are turning the building into a large takeaway. Now, over to your left hand side behind the trees there, you'll see a building with 4 green sloping roofs. The Ministry of Defence. Now, running behind this building is Whitehall and Downing Street, the London home of the Prime Minister. Now, most of that building lies beneath the ground, because most of it is underground, as I say, is London's first atomic fallout shelter. As you can see, it's just a 3-minute dash from the Houses of Parliament and 10 Downing Street. It's where we got that famous Cockney sound from, of pull up the ladder, Jack, I'm alright. It's nice to know that my Prime Minister will be safe if there was ever a nuclear strike here in England. God bless John Major. Goodbye. On the embankment wall to your left hand side now, you see that column with a golden eagle on the top of it. The Royal Air Force who lost their lives during the First and Second World War. Now, the eagle's coated in gold leaf and it points directly towards the coast of France. As I say, that's where most of the brave airmen and airwomen lost their lives. The War Memorial. The building, built in a beautiful Gothic style to your left, is Whitehall Court Mansions. Once the home of David Lloyd George and George Bernard Shaw, the author and playwright. Now it's just luxury apartments. A very famous person live over there is Barbara Cartland. She writes those romantic novels. She normally gets most of her ideas from George there, who's walking down the deck. It's a bit of a smoothie. The 3 vessels to your left hand side now. The first one is the Elizabethan, built as a replica of a Mississippi sternwheeler. Now, she's actually a pleasure boat, and you can hire her for functions. She's owned by Richard Branson of the Virgin Empire. That's Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines, and a few other things like the Virgin Islands. The second vessel there, the Tattershall Castle, once a car ferry on the River Humber. Now, she was brought up here and turned into a floating art gallery. Now, she didn't make much money as an art gallery, so they turned her into a floating public house. She now makes more money in one day as a pub than she did all year as an art gallery. That's a different kind of artist in London. The last vessel to your left there, the blue and white one, the RS Hispaniola, luxury fish and games restaurant. The bridge ahead of us now, the Charing Cross Railway Bridge, links Charing Cross on your left to Waterloo on your right. It also incorporates the Hungerford Footbridge, which runs on the lower side. Now, as we go beneath a railway, we'll also be going over a railway, as London's underground system runs directly beneath the bridge. We do believe it's the Bakerloo and Northern lines of the London underground system. Through the bridge to your right hand side there, you're going to see the really soundproof to keep the terrible noise of those trains out, which constantly run by on Charing Cross Railway Bridge. All the buildings to your right hand side are all known as the South and Bank Art Centre. But now back to your left hand side and on the embankment wall, you see that tall stone obelisk, Cleopatra's Needle, a gift from the Egyptians to commemorate Nelson's victory over Napoleon at the Battle of the Nile. Now, the needle is over 3,500 years old, and there's a twin to that which stands in Central Park, New York, and the French have also got one. They got there for coming second. I like that one, yes. The bridge ahead of us now, the Waterloo Road Bridge. It's the longest traffic bridge to span the River Thames. It's built from reinforced concrete and faced in a self-cleaning Portland stone. Now this bridge was built during the Second World War and 80% of the labour force were women. So you could say the ladies built this bridge. That's why it leans slightly to the left-hand side. I'm only joking, ladies. You made a very nice job at the bridge. Through the bridge to your left-hand side, the building behind the trees there, the building is Somerset House, originally built as a palace for the Dukes of Somerset, later taken over by the Registrar General. It's where they used to register all births, deaths and marriages in England, Scotland and Wales. Once known as the Atcham, Matcham and Dispatcham Department. All they do over there now is catch 'em, because the building is owned and run by the Inland Revenue. In complete contrast, the building to your right-hand side films and all those repeats we've all seen before. LWT, last week's television. The large white vessel to your left there is the Wellington, a former sloop in the Royal New Zealand Navy. Permanently moored there's a floating livery hall for the Honourable Company of Master Mariners. To be a member of the club, you must have command of a vessel at sea. Me and my mate here, both members of that club. But look to the starn end of the Wellington there, it's the blunt end. See the stone archway there? It's got the face of old Father Thames looking down upon his river. That's the Temple Bar, the boundary line between the city of Westminster, which we are now leaving, and the city of London, which we are now entering. Now look just past the archway to your left there. Look in between the trees, look carefully, and you might be able to see them. Two silver dragons. Now they were put there to keep out evil spirits from London. Believe me, they don't work. My mother-in-law gets through there every week to visit my wife. Now the large black and white vessel there to your left-hand side is the President, a former sloop during the First World War. Now she saw action on the Yangtze River and ran the China Seas. She was actually a gunboat. Permanently moored there now and trains cadets for the London Division of the Royal Naval Reserves. They train them in radar, navigation, gunnery and all aspects of life at sea. Now we do believe, ladies and gentlemen, in the last couple of weeks she's been taken over again. It's been turned into a club now. We know that because we see it yesterday, all the people in there, all the South Africans, because they won the World Cup. But we do believe they've taken it over there. But opening Bayman Wall to your left now, there's a group of buildings over there. The ones I'm going to be talking about are the last three before the bridge. Starting with the first one, the red brick building, which looks a little bit like a church. The Zion College and Library. Now inside there, they have many rare volumes of books, including Queen Victoria's own personal Bible, which was printed on William Caxton's press. The building next door to the Zion College now, look at the building with a green sloping roof and a pinnacle in the centre of it. The old City of London School for Boys. It was the oldest school for boys in the city of London. It's where many of our prime ministers, MPs and statesmen passed through. People like Lloyd George, Lord Asquith, and of course myself, not yet knighted. The last building she left there inside, semicircular building, Unilever House, head offices of Lever Brothers, the soap detergent manufacturers. They're always claiming each powder cleans whiter than the other, which is really a complete lie because none of them really work. The bridge ahead of us now, the Blackfriars Road Bridge. Look to either side of the archways now, and built into the buttresses of the bridge, you will see marble pulpits. Now, they were built into the bridge at the express wish of Queen Victoria to commemorate the Blackfriars Monastery, which once used to stand to your left-hand side, but it was destroyed on the orders of King Henry VIII during the Reformation. That's how the bridge got its name from the monastery. At this point in the River Thames, we used to have 3 bridges close together. Now the second bridge, or what's left of it, only the red columns now left in the bed of the Thames. The old Alexander Railway Bridge used to run the London to Chatham and Dover railway system. As you can see, the top span of the bridge has been taken away. It was taken away about 7 years ago because the bridge became unsafe. The bridge was designed by that famous engineer, Isambard Kingdom Brunel. The last bridge we're passing beneath now, the Blackfriars Railway Bridge, Blackfriars Station again to your left. Now to give you some information about the tides on the River Thames, at the moment we're going against the tide. Now the tide is flooding in from the sea. It floods in now for 5 hours, then it ebbs back out to the sea for 7 hours. We have a rise and fall between 20 to 28 feet. We have 2 tides every 24 hours on the river. But now looking to your left hand side and dominating the skyline, you see the magnificent dome of St Paul's Cathedral. St Paul stands 365 feet high. That's 1 foot for every day of the year.